What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Shane, the Hallowed Heathen here, and today has been a great day. Today has been an exciting day. Today has been a productive day, and most importantly, today has been a challenging day. I know that sounds weird, but a challenging day, in my opinion, is what makes for, honestly, an overall amazing, awesome freaking day, right? So, the reason as to why that is because it's in our challenges and our discomforts that we're actually able to grow the most, right? Now, with that being said, we're able to grow, but we're also able to take steps back, right? And both, I believe, are necessary for success. However, it is up to you to determine whether or not something makes you or breaks you, right? So with that being said, today has been a challenging day for me personally, my family, my professional portion of my life. It has been overall extraordinarily challenging. But what I have done is I have taken those challenges as an opportunity to grow as a person, as a father, as a businessman, as an associate, as an individual, and as a professional. So I'm taking those things in a positive light to hopefully get better at everything I do in life, right? So with that being said, that brings us to today's video, today's topic, and the reason why I'm on YouTube again, right? So as you guys read in the title, or as you may have not understood, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about success. And I'm asking a very, very, very simple question. What does it take to achieve success, or what does it take to become successful? And the answer, although simple, is not easy. It will honestly take you everything you have in order to be successful in any aspect of life. And that's what I want to discuss today. Is I don't want to just discuss, the happy rainbows and all the amazing, pats on the back and the amazing successes along the way. I want to talk about the nitty-gritty of what it actually takes to be successful. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not going to be a negative subject. It is still going to be a very, very positive video, and hopefully it'll motivate and inspire anybody watching this to do better in some aspect of their life, right? That is my goal here, is to become better myself while I am inspiring other people to be better as well. So, enough of that being said, right? So again, what does it take to be successful? Everything you have. So one of the key aspects in my mind, and what I'm going to be doing here for those of you who want to preface this video, is I'm going to be talking through what I believe are important key aspects to remember on the journey and or the road to success. Things to keep in the front of your mind, to make sure you're aware of, make sure you understand, and make sure you are prepared for as you embark on the journey of being successful in any aspect of your life. Now, with that being said, I'm very different in my definition of success. Everybody has, or majority of people out there have, a definitive definition of success as something tying to financial well-being, right? Which is definitely, don't be wrong, it's definitely a huge aspect of being successful. Ultimately, all of us want that financial freedom, that financial security in order to live the life we ultimately want to live, and in order to be able to really have and enjoy the things that make us happy, or that make us enjoy our lives that much more, right? That's what we all want. We all want that financial reliability, that financial stability, that financial independence to be able to basically do whatever we want whenever we want to do it, right? Which is a great mindset to have. It's a great aspect of success, but is not the only aspect of success. In order to obtain that type of success, you have to have small or large successes along the way. So what I'm getting into here is I'm getting into building that path, building that ladder, if you will, to accomplish those benchmark successes in order to ultimately find yourself at the ultimate success and have that financial independence, that financial freedom. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim to be some kind of financial or, life coach or some kind of guru in that kind of aspect, because I myself am still struggling with that. I'm still on my journey to becoming ultimately successful and financially stable and financially independent. Obviously, I'm getting better at it every day. I'm getting better at it as we go, and I'm getting, I'm inching closer and closer, right? So I do plan on reaching that financial portion of success. But again, for me, it's a lot about the journey and finding those successes along the way. So with that being said, again, I'm going to talk through certain key aspects of success in my mind. So the first key aspect that I want to make sure everybody or myself is focused on is the concept of continuous motion, right? In my mind, in order to find success in literally anything you do, no matter how small or big, you have to have constant movement, constant motion, or, in other words, for, constant motion or constant movement, is you have to have constant action in what you're doing. You can't just have a theoretical knowledge, and you can't just have applicable knowledge. You have to be able to act on the knowledge or on the ideas you have, right? So in my mind, that first aspect of success is having the mindset, having the prepared formula to provide for constant motion, right? Because it's when you become idle or when you become complacent to where you really stop moving forward. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be comfortable, but if you really want that unattainable success that majority of the world will never be able to share in, then at that point you have to be constantly moving. You have to be constantly taking action on whatever your goals are. If you have financial goals, build a financial path and have benchmarks where you want to save up this much money by this date, where you want to have this much money invested in whatever by this time, right? Where you want to have this nest egg, if you will, built up by this time, and you create the path to get there of how much are you going to dump into it each month. If you want to build an idea, right, you have certain levels along the way you have to then define and accomplish before your idea can be realized. So therefore, build yourself out that path in order to define what you want to accomplish along the way to ultimately reach your ultimate goal. That right there is providing continuous motion, continuous movement, and continuous action, right? It's all about growing and getting better. So from my financial aspect, again, I've been somewhat struggling here and there the last several years, and I have not had commodities that a lot of other Americans or a lot of other people in the world have, right? One of the huge, crutches or, crippling factors for me was the fact that we only had one family car. And with the size of my family and with how much I got going on as far as the gym, as far as work, as far as other pursuits of mine, as far as other things I am actively trying to accomplish in my life, it sometimes made it difficult to have everybody where they needed to be at once, right? So one of my personal benchmarks, if you will, was to be able to get financially comfortable and stable enough where I could then afford a secondary car. And then ultimately, I wanted to be able to afford another new car for my wife and for my family, more reliable. That way we could get rid of the POS we had that was, it was reliable. It was getting us from point A to point B, but it wasn't exactly something that we could feel comfortable taking on a road trip if we wanted to go up in the mountains or something, right? It wasn't something that we ultimately could rely on and be able to keep around for an extended period of time. It was a very, very quick solution to a current problem where we didn't have a large enough family car to fit all of us, so we bought it as a temporary fix, right? As a Band-Aid fix, if you will. So as of yesterday, I have now obtained both of those benchmarks. I now have my car, which is paid for in cash, which again is the step below my dream car. My ultimate dream car is an R8. I love R8s. I would love more than anything to be able to have an R8 as my own. But my step below is a TT. Yes, my TT is older, but I would prefer a newer model, but it is a step in the right direction, right? So I've accomplished having a secondary car for myself to be able to get me from point A to point B and around and do whatever it is I need to do in order to keep myself sane, happy, and keep myself moving. And then as of yesterday, I've also bought my wife a newer car, an '07 Suburban, which is in immaculate condition. It seats all our family, it's reliable, and we can literally do whatever we want with it and not have to worry about a darn thing. Now, with that being said, problems will still arise, but this is a way of us mitigating those problems to be more comfortable in our daily lives, right? So she now has a new car. I have my car. The old car we have fully paid off, and as of today, we have actually sold. And so with selling that car, we've also made a profit. So again, what I've done with that money is I've taken it and put it into my account and put it into savings to then once again start building more of that financial stability, right? So I'm taking that money instead of just blowing it and being like, oh, look, I have all this money I didn't expect. Well, now I'm saving it and then again building towards more financial stability. Now, you guys are probably saying, well, how can you save it? You bought 2 cars. Yes, I bought both those cars in cash. I own both those cars. But at the same time, they were investments that were necessary. In my mind, they were investments that we absolutely had to have. So for me, it wasn't necessarily a loss of money. It wasn't being financially irresponsible. It was something that was a necessity in order for myself and my family and my household to flourish. So I have no qualms with spending that money. But again, what am I doing immediately? I am building back up what I lost, right? It's all about not just maintaining that level, but constantly advancing. So that's all part of continuous motion. Now, the other huge key aspect here for success I'm going to talk about 2 aspects today because I don't want to make this video extraordinarily long, but I will talk about more aspects of success in future videos. The other aspect I want to talk about in success today is the realization of failure. As I've said before, and as you guys may or may not have heard or understood, part of success is failure. The difference between a champion and a contender is a champion has failed more times than a contender has even attempted. And that rings true with anything. CEO, VP, CTO, CFO, business owner, whatever the case may be. If you are successful, you have tried and failed more times than the majority of people have ever attempted. Most people won't even attempt something for fear of failure. What does that tell you? That tells you that you have to get out there. You have to be willing to fail. But in your failure, you have to have the mindset to then take why you failed, learn from it, and then apply that knowledge and get better and try again. It's all about standing back up. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's all about standing back up. You get knocked down 9 times, you stand up a 10th. You are not going to stay on the ground. You're not going to feel bad for yourself. You're not going to allow yourself to wallow or have pity. You are going to be strong enough to pick yourself back up, get back on your feet, and then fight like your life depended on it, because it truthfully does. It is your life and you can do anything with it. So make certain that you are fighting as if your life depends on it, because it is your life hanging in the balance. It is your dreams hanging in the balance. It is your entire legacy and existence hanging in the balance. So make sure you give it everything you got and then some. It will take everything you have in order to succeed. I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm not saying this to be somebody who's, harping on somebody or being an asshole. I'm saying this because I want to see more success in the world. Starting with my circle, my family, my friends, anybody who watches my channel, I want to see success. I want to hopefully think I've had a part of that success. Maybe not from, hey, I'm investing, but I want to be able to be the person that gives you the mindset mentality in order to let you achieve more. I want you to surpass me by far, even if I become some insanely high up, wealthy, just crazy successful individual. I want you to surpass me. That's what I want. I'm not saying I'm going to get there. I'm definitely going to try with everything I have, but I want you to be more successful than myself. I want my kids to be more successful than me. I want my kids to be a better parent than I am. I want my kids to do better earlier on than I am doing. That is my goal, is to improve everything as I go. If my life changes somebody else's life and makes them better, that is all I want. Now, with that being said, I have a little story to tell, okay? A very, very self-realization story. Today and yesterday, actually, the reason why it's been so challenging is because I screwed up. I made a big business mistake, right? I worked a deal for the job I'm working for quite some time. And I was very, very diligent. I was very, very involved. I was very, very active. I was keeping myself as a critical aspect of that deal, right? I was being very, very active in my actions, very, 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 very intentional and very, very purposeful in my actions, and making sure I was driving things towards the right the right outcome, the outcome I desired as well as what the customer desired, to make sure everybody had the best possible experience and make sure there was really value in our conversations, right? I was doing everything I possibly could. And the success came where the deal closed. And the deal was a very, very large deal. It was a $50,000 startup deal, which means that deal is going to grow exponentially in the next year. And that was something I already discussed with the client, and I knew that it had massive potential to become an amazing account within the company I work for, right? But upon the deal closing, I basically was given a very, very harsh realization. I had not done my full due diligence, and after the deal had closed, it had been realized that it was out of my area or out of my segment of expertise. And it belonged in our company, but it belonged in the hands of somebody who was equipped to handle that large of a segment as it grows. Now, I'm not saying I wasn't equipped to handle it, because I definitely am, but given my segmentation, my parameters, I am only allowed, and it's something I agreed to, so I can't be mad about it, I agreed to be in a certain segment and be only allowed to handle a certain parameter of business, right? This deal was outside that parameter. Because of that, all that work I did got passed on to somebody else. Yeah, the account, the opportunity, the quote, everything I did got passed on to somebody else as if they had done everything I had done. And then as if I never existed and I never touched the account, it got passed on to them. Now, initially I was absolutely furious about this, right? But at the same time, I had to take a very, very hard realization pill and look deep within and realize that this was on me. I screwed up. I didn't do my due diligence, so because of that, my success was short-lived because of my lack of attention. I now had basically screwed myself, right? I'd basically taken my hard work out of my own hands because I wasn't as diligent as I needed to be from my business aspect. I was diligent in my deal, I was diligent in all my interactions with the client, but I wasn't again diligent in my duties as an employee, right? And again, I could be pissed about this, I could be furious about this, and I still am kind of a little bit bitter about it. And I was super furious before, but at the same time, it came down to my failure. Now, I could piss and moan, I could be also irritated and blame this person and blame that person and hold a grudge, but at the same time, like, what good's that going to do me? I could walk away and quit and be like, you know what, if you guys don't value my work and I'm not going to get credit for it, then I'm done. What good is that going to do me? That's going to put me in a state of unemployment, and now I'm going to have to grind that much harder to even maintain what I already had, right? Now, my whole goal behind what I'm doing currently is to advance myself and excel myself every single day. So if I were to quit my job before I had some other source of stability, then at that point that would set me back. Now, I'm not going to quit my job because this is a learning experience for me. And oddly enough, the minute I looked inside and realized that I had made a mistake and admitted to it and took the professional way of apologizing and taking necessary action to then correct my action and put everything in the correct hands, at that point, I had gotten a lot of really positive feedback based on my actions. And because of that, I had been brought to light. And because of that light, I am now facing a huge opportunity to be able to advance myself as a person within my company, within other companies, within basically all aspects of my industry. I now have the opportunity to build myself and ultimately be a lot more involved and make a lot more money and be overall better off because of my actions. Not only my actions. When I took those actions, it brought me to light, and then they dug deeper and realized how valued I actually am, and they provided me an opportunity to better myself and to ultimately end up getting a pay raise, getting a promotion, and essentially overall just improving my lifestyle. And not only is it going to improve my lifestyle, it's going to give me skills and knowledge that if I ever wanted to, I could take elsewhere, and then continuously advance myself, right? So this is just another step in me ultimately reaching my dreams of being my own boss, building my own company, building my own legacy, and ultimately building my own success. This is just another step and another opportunity for me to then become better. So with that being said, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I know I kind of rambled on there for a minute, but it was something that was of vital importance for me to talk about, something I'm very, very passionate about. It was something that, again, took a lot of deep, it took a lot for me to dig deep and really look within and realize where the problem lied, and therefore act and respond accordingly. So if you guys got some out of this, please smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you have anything to say, have any ideas, if you have hate, if you have love, put it in the comments below. Comments help me, help build my channel, help build my brand, and help give me exposure. So comment as much as you like, love, hate, whatever the case may be. I will try to respond to everybody. I can promise you, after today's realization, all responses will be professional and with nothing but positive intent. So again, thank you guys. Love you guys. I appreciate the time, and hope you guys got some out of this. Hope we can continue to motivate each other and continue to grind and continue to grow as people, right? So until next time, I'm out. Peace.